All right, let's get right into it. We're going to break down one of the most powerful ideas out there for changing your life. How tiny, and I mean tiny little habits can lead to some truly incredible results. This is all about the core ideas from James Clear's amazing book, Atomic Habits.
You know the feeling, right? You start the year with all this energy and these huge goals. You're going to get in shape, you're going to save a ton of money, you're going to learn that new skill. But then a few weeks in, you're kind of right back where you started. What if I told you the reason for that has absolutely nothing to do with your willpower?
And that right there, that's the big idea we're going to unpack. The book argues that your results in life, your health, your wealth, your happiness, they're all just a lagging measure of your habits. Your success isn't really about your goals, it's about the systems you follow, day in and day out. So, first up, let's tackle this huge idea, the problem with being obsessed with goals. Now, I know that sounds completely backward, but focusing only on the finish line can actually be the very thing that's holding you back.
Think about this for a second. It's a simple but really profound truth. Winners and losers, they often have the exact same goals. Every single athlete at the Olympics wants to win the gold medal. Every person applying for a job wants to get it. So if everyone has the same goal, the goal itself can't be what separates them, right? So what is?
And that's the key. Goals are fantastic for setting a direction, for pointing you where you want to go, but it's your system, that collection of little things you do every single day that actually gets you there. A goal is a moment in time. A system is the process you follow to make that moment happen. Okay, so if systems are the answer, how do we build good ones? Well, it all starts with what the book calls the 1% compounding rule. And this is where the real magic happens. Getting just 1% better at something every day, it feels like nothing. Honestly, you probably wouldn't even notice it. But the long-term effect? Oh, it's absolutely mind-blowing. If you improve by just 1% every day for a year, you'll end up nearly 38 times better by the time you're done. It's this quiet, invisible force that completely reshapes your life.
The best way to think about it is like compound interest, for your actual life. Stashing away just $10 a day seems so small, but over decades, it can turn into a massive nest egg. Or what about reading just 10 pages a day? Doesn't sound like much, but that adds up to over 30 books a year. That is the incredible power of small, consistent efforts just building on themselves day after day.
Okay, look, if you only take one single thing away from this explainer, please make it this. This is, without a doubt, the most profound concept in the whole book. The real way to make lasting change is to stop focusing on what you want to achieve and start focusing on who you want to become. Just look at the difference here. I want to save money. That's an outcome. It's a goal. But saying I'm a person who manages money wisely, well, that's an identity. It's who you are. And when you believe that's who you are, your choices just naturally start to line up. You're not forcing yourself to do something, you're just acting like yourself. And that's why it works so well. Every time you skip a coffee out and put that money into savings, you are literally casting a vote for being a financially responsible person. Every time you choose to go to the gym, even for just 15 minutes, you're casting a vote for being a healthy person. Your habits become the evidence of your identity. So how do we actually build these habits that shape our identity? Well, James Clear gives us this brilliantly simple, super practical framework. Think of it like a step-by-step playbook for engineering your own behavior. And here they are, the 4 laws of behavior change. It's like a user manual for your brain. First, you have to make it obvious, so it's right there in front of you. Second, you have to make it attractive, so you actually want to do it. Third, you've got to make it easy to remove any friction. And fourth, you have to make it satisfying, so your brain gets a little reward and wants to do it again. Now, let's zoom in on that first law, because this one, man, it hides a secret weapon for self-improvement that almost everybody overlooks, and that is your environment. This is such a huge insight. We're always trying to have more discipline, more willpower, but a lot of the time, we just need a better environment. The space around you is constantly pushing and pulling you in different directions. So if you want to change your behavior, redesign your space. Want to read more? Simple. Leave a book on your pillow. Want to snack healthier? Put the fruit out on the counter and hide the cookies in the back of the pantry.
And here's the really cool part. You just flip these laws on their head to break your bad habits. Want to stop mindlessly scrolling on your phone? Make it invisible. Leave it in another room when you're working. Want to eat less junk food? Make it unattractive. Remind yourself how sluggish and gross it makes you feel. To watch less TV? Make it difficult. Unplug the TV after you use it and put the remote in a drawer in another room. You engineer your world so that the good habits are easy and the bad habits are hard.
Okay, now we have to talk about the hard part. Let's be real. we need to talk about the reason most of us give up on new habits even when we're doing everything right.
This is what he calls the Plateau of Hidden Potential. You know this feeling. It's that super frustrating time when you are putting in the work, you're going to the gym, you're saving the money, you're studying, but you just aren't seeing the results you want. Progress is almost never a straight line. It's happening, but it's happening under the surface. It's like an ice cube warming up. Nothing seems to be changing until, bam, it hits 32 degrees and finally starts to melt. This valley of disappointment is where most people quit.
And this is exactly why your system is so much more important than your motivation. Look, motivation is great, but it's an emotion. It comes and goes. You can't rely on it. A system, though? A system is what you do when you are not motivated. It's your commitment to showing up and putting in the reps, whether you feel like it or not. That consistency is what will carry you across that plateau until you finally see that breakthrough.
And this right here, this quote ties it all together. This might be the single most important lesson from the entire book. We all like to think that when it matters most, we'll rise to the occasion. But we don't. We don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall back to the level of our systems, the habits we've already automated. Your systems are your foundation.
So let's make this super real for you right now. Forget about some massive, life-changing overhaul tomorrow. What is one tiny, atomic-level thing you can do today? Seriously, could you just lay out your workout clothes for tomorrow morning? Could you read one page of a book before bed? Could you move $5 into a savings account? Pick one thing, just one. Make it obvious, make it easy, and go cast that first vote for the person you want to become.